Call today. We're actually getting the oats combined. They're over here. We did it on that section last year. We did it on this section, so it's like 22 acres this year. I will say this year it definitely didn't turn out as good. So I got the truck over here. He's gonna load the trailer. I got it all set up for the grain. And Ferdy, like just coincidence, is mowing over here at the same time. So this is fourth cut. This field did not get manure. I don't know if it got fertilizer. I don't know. So you'll see in the previous video from a couple days ago that we got that shaft welded up. It is bent for that suction device, but it's at least not banging around. And the bearings are at least rolling normal again. It's not bouncing in there and slipping on them. How long it's gonna last? Hopefully at least until the update kit comes in. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. The ground has been wet all year long. Every single farmer in this area has been fighting the same thing. Like, you can see, it's just a little soft spot. Now the nice thing is, with the Big M, it's a fraction of the passes as it would be with a pull type. And the passes that he does do, his pounds per square inch on the ground is a lot lower because he has so much surface area on the ground at the same time. And it's one pass for 32 feet. Instead of with a pull type, you have your 2 little tires for the mower, and then you got your tractor tires, and then you're just driving over yourself all the time. And the couple fields I had to do like that this year, I just made ruts. It was a struggle, but you got to do what you got to do. So that is the nice thing that we have as an advantage with the Big M. Even the butterfly mowers for a tractor, it's the same thing. It's just you're wider and less passes. Because the less you got to drive on this wet ground, the better, because it's less likely for ruts. But I gotta say, still some nice grass coming out. This year, with how wet it is, we've got a lot more of that taller grass right there. You can see it's not as dark green as we normally get. We don't really have that happen too often, but this year, we've noticed it basically with everyone's fields, not just our own. Maybe it's just the rain or whatever, but it is a lot more this year than normal with the grass doing that. But you can see Furry's just going up and down, merging in the ends. That way the rake is just the one pass. And we can utilize just one rake operator. It's not 100% fast enough for chopping if the rake doesn't get out early enough. But honestly, we don't even give the rake enough of a head start, but there's a lot of jobs to get done in the day, so we do the best we can. Alright, my mom's coming to pick me up. I'll turn this off. Well, I've been raking now for 4 hours, I think it is. Maybe just 3. I just got back to the farm. We've been real late get going today because this bunk right here, we normally put 4th cut in, and then 5th cut. We had to move a bunch of feed because the front of it there was a section that was 2 years old, there was a section that was 3 years old, and then the very front was 4 years old. So we got that all moved to the heifer barn, and we got that situated. Normally we don't move feed there, but once we have like a bunch of stuff like that, and it was like every 10 feet, it kind of switched. So when you're feeding it out to the milking cows, it kind of sucks when there's only 10 feet of a fill up. My mom has lunch for you. I mean dinner.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay.
So yeah, instead of having it switch every 10 feet for the milking, it's by the time you get it all figured out and flowing good, you're already switching to the next cut. So we're just bringing it up to the heifers, and that way it's nice and consistent again for next year. And we won't feed it all out, but after a couple of years we'll have to probably do the same thing. But I'm going back to the field because, like I was saying earlier, Kyle is here, Robotoy. He was driving the Pete. He was actually bringing corn over to the farm too, and he messaged me and said he blew a tire, an outside tire. So he drove that back really slow because it's nicer to change here because I have everything, and he just took the back road and it was all good, and he was empty. So he got that back, and then we hooked on the dump wagon, and he's running a dump wagon because Ferdy is knocking it down today. He's already headed up the King Road. He's got King's all done here, and I'm headed behind Christoph's house. We're back to rolling. Gerhard is he's actually in the hospital. He has an appendix, so he's getting surgery tomorrow on that, which sucks, but keep rolling. The oats, as I showed in the beginning of this video, we're supposed to get combine today. The replanting actually came back better than we expected. So the stuff that got flooded out, we thought it wasn't going to be too good when it got replanted because it was so late, but it ain't horrible. He's got this mowed, up there all mowed, right over there mowed. But yeah, so the combine was supposed to happen today, and then they called us. They said their combine is saying it's coming out of park, but it's not physically coming out of park. So they got an issue there. If it's a machine, it's bound to give you issues at some point. Everyone has breakdowns. So hopefully they got it figured out today, or at least tomorrow, so they can get combined. That's just what's been going on. Roll in here. I got this little thing in the front yard, and then I get up behind his house. Already did a little bit of roadside mowing here. That way you can actually see pulling out the driveway instead of that tall grass in your way. Alrighty, I did enough yapping. Put this away. I'll get one more clip here before it's too dark. I got that in front done by Christoph's, but I guess if you were watching 2 years ago, right here is where we put all the wood from the sugar bush that we pulled out. Well, we did a lot of logging that year, so we did have to reseed the road. We basically made a road when we pulled all those trees out down here. And on the other side too, we had 2 exits from the woods. So I see right here, Ferdy screwed up. There's actually a lot of grass, but the lights are blinding it, so you can't see shit. But I see Ferdy messed up his merger right here. For some reason he was winging it the wrong way. Well, actually he didn't even need to be closing here, but he should have been closing on that side. So yes, he was winging it the wrong way. Anyways, it's not a big deal because I'm going to be coming back through because it's a headland. But it's getting a little dark. The camera's not going to pick much up. So right here, this whole area here was logs 2 years ago. So this had to all get reseated down, like I was saying. There's a soft spot right there, so we'll have to fix that, but it's also been a soft year. It's the next day. We're driving up behind Christoph's again. I did finish raking this field last night. It was 8:30, something around that. It was dark out, so I'm coming back through to go up to the top section where I didn't finish, but I'm also making sure if I skipped anything because I couldn't see anything really. But I think I actually got everything. Wouldn't be the first time that a raking person forgot a whole section. But I didn't. That's good. And then Gerhard had his surgery. He's now on bed rest, at least for today. Well, we got a bunch of little fields done over there on King stuff. I guess a couple of them were little, some of them are good size, but I didn't really record it because it's a lot of go a couple times around, fold up, handful of wet holes, and I just gotta pay attention. And yes, I can set the camera down, but unless it's nice long stretches, it really doesn't make for good recording. But now we're starting on the King Road. So we always start right here on the bottom. The home farm is right there. We're over by the road now, and a nice straightaway, so I got time to record. But Ferdy here decided he wanted to merge everything on his first time around. But it's not even the end of the world because it kind of keeps it from drying as much right now. Oh, that slip clutch is going to shit. And I know it's the slip clutch because before I started this cut, I actually pulled the input shaft out from that middle rake to check the gears, because if they were bad, I would have replaced them because we got it here. But it's not, so I know it's the slip clutch. I figured it was, but I wanted to make sure before we started fourth cut. And I have the old PTO from the old rake, but I really don't know if that one was in much better condition just because it had a lot of acres through it, and it's been a long time since we used it. But unless you come into some hard stuff or really, really thick grass, I think that was Chris Benoit, I think. Unless you come into some really thick grass, like it was dry enough to mow a certain wet hole kind of thick, like it's two cuts worth, that really isn't the end of the world. Because there has been a bunch of areas where we have to mow around it because it's just been a wet year. We got a busy road right here. This has been going on 105, but they're putting a natural gas line in, and I guess in 2 weeks they're supposed to pave this road, or at least up the King Road. So they wanted to get this section done before the paving crew gets here, because with the rate they were coming down 105, I guess they were thinking they were going to be here at the exact same time if they stayed on their rate that they were doing. So they decided to hop here real quick, which makes sense because they got to have a lot of equipment on the roadside. only thing that kind of sucks is we're chopping the King Road at the exact same time. I gotta pull into the shop real quick, grab something, and then we'll continue up. I stopped raking for like an hour. Had to go down. We had to switch a dump wagon tractor. So we had the 7520 on one of the dump wagons, and then we have the 7600 on the other dump wagon. We had to pull the 7520 off because I needed to put that on the grapple because we're doing some round bales, and Ferdy stopped mowing for a while today and went and did some raking and baling out by Robert Sampier's. We always make that hay when we want to make hay because it just makes great hay because it dries so fast. It's a great area. Grass dries fast and the cows love the grass. It just works great. But he didn't do the whole field yet, baling wise, but he did a good chunk, and we wanted to get those bales off today. So Kyle Massey, he is working on that with Marcus now. Kyle Robertoy is also here. He is hauling some corn over to Thompson's, and then he's going to be driving hauling feed. But right now we're close enough because we're low on the King Road that don't need the third truck, but it's getting close. So Christoph's right on my tail. He's right there. I only got this little bit ahead of him, but oh, let me turn this off. I got to do this. There's ruts. I do not remember what I was saying, but I had to lift the rake up for that rut there. Not that I pulled mud in. Anyways, Kyle's bringing corn over, and then he's going to help with this. And then, because Gerhardt's out, I actually called our neighbors, so Matt and Tyler are helping.
You need to fix a little hurl in your tent on that wagon there, Christoph.
Which is very,
It's so nice.
which is very,
other side.
helpful. Because, I got to do the raking now, so I can't drive anything else. But we did just increase our cruise control to 7 miles an hour, and we're still doing a clean job. But I can only do that when it's smooth fields. Might as well show you some of our mud holes while I'm at it. But the reason we I had to stop is we took the 7520 off, and I put the 7R on because we needed to load bales with the 7520, since I don't have a tractor here to go on our bale spear, because either the MX120 can go on it or our 8480, the little one with a bucket can. The little 8480 is done. We just got to go up to the dealership and go get it. But to say that we haven't been busy, just dirty? Yes. We've just been too busy to go up there and drive it down. It's basically the moral of the story. We don't want to trailer it down because it does cost a pretty penny to every time you got to throw that thing on a lowboy, or a tractor on a lowboy up there. It's not the end of the world, but we can save a lot of money just driving it. So yeah, that's what's on the dump wagon now. And then we switched the black Western Star off the diller and put that on the feed box also, because we weren't able to get that light truck done because that pin. And we have the new one here now that has a grease hole. They gave us a new one. Stuff happens, it's not the end of the world. But I haven't had time to finish slapping that all together now.
Yeah, so the dump wagon was kind of running on the truck a little bit. I got it back pretty quick though.
We got a lot of grass up here. So they are on my butt. Christoph is perceivably, is that even a word? In the process of doing the outside row. He's actually chopping it the other way than he normally does, just because I was closing it when he pulled into the field. I had a couple little dinkers, straight rows done in that corner, because when I was there turning around, it was just easy to get done. So he did that real quick, and it gave me time to get 2 straight shots done. But I ain't complaining with the volume of grass up here. So yeah, we got the 7R and the 7600 on there. 2 John Deeres. Both don't have working PTOs right now. The 7R, we just gotta get it tore apart, and the 7600 just broke the last day of spreading over at Farm 2. Simon was running it, and then all of a sudden it just stopped spreading. I mean, he stopped, didn't know what was going on. Christoph went and looked at it, and saw that the shaft that comes out that connects onto a PTO, the splines on it were basically fully rounded, and then we popped it out, and then the splines that cup it, that drive the PTO shaft, are also shot. So don't know if we got to pull the rear end off like we did on the 7R to fix the shaft of the splines, but yeah, another job. And good thing it does not need PTO for a dump wagon. But it does suck because we like running that on the Bodco manure tank when we're trying to spread, just because it floats really good because it's got super singles on it, and it's just it works a good size for that when you're getting nursed into. It's not a good roading tractor, but because it's been wet this year, we've been doing a lot of nursing and it works great. But look at that volume. But even though Christoph's on my tail, these single pass windrows, I'm able to keep boogieing, and he hasn't actually slowed down or stopped chopping yet on me. We got a lot going on. They're lining up the dump. They're chopping. We're gonna pull this up. So with the 32-foot trailer, the dump wagons go in no problems at all. But with the 26-footer, yeah, I think it's 26-footer, Christoph loads like the front half of the dump wagons and the back halves, and then that way they can dump, and then one wagon always dumps in the front, one always dumps in the back. That way it just flows easy for that trailer, and then the big trailer takes 2 dumps no problem. And then normally you actually, because this one's shorter right now, I still got to raise it. I don't think I'll have time to do it before corn, but I got to raise it up. There's Kyle. He helps us a lot this year. It's came in very helpful. Gotta go behind Alan's and Tyler's house here. I just gotta make sure when I drive down these banks, I lift up my 3-point hitch arms. Otherwise, I'll bend the guide tires for the middle rake. And I know this because we have done it more times than you'd like to admit. But it happens. So, yeah, we're rolling back here. Furry must have mowed a little bit just to get the grass down. But you don't want to drive right where that stick is, because there's a metal stake. Well, I'm gonna turn the camera off. I just went and did the outside ring here at Tyler's. Just gonna.
You haven't lived until you threw square bells on my uncles. I
just. So I gotta do this. The end headlands here. I just drove down with it up, but I put it down right here because I was looping.
And
yeah, we'll make the headlands, and then we'll do one,
We kept in the first two.
1, 2, 3, 4.
First two bays.
4 straight rows here, and then I think there's going to be one in the center up top above his septic there. Be good to go. But I'm going to end the video here. I want to say thanks for watching. Till the next one.